So, a brief walkthrough through debugging techniques. So, most of the time you're going to find yourself debugging code, and that's just the nature of the business, really. Honestly, most programmers spend a 50-50 split between debugging and actually writing code. So, I thought let's just look at a few examples of how you can debug something. Now, the first and easiest way is to just do a console log, and this is pretty straightforward. You simply log out whatever you think might be wrong, or some variable or whatever, and then you run the code and you see what the log tells you. Then I don't think we need to go deeper into this. That's pretty straightforward. Okay, so let's look at the debugger keyword. So if you wanted to go into debug mode and walk through your code, you would put a debugger keyword wherever you want to stop the code from executing. And from that point on, you can use the debug tools to walk through this code. So if we look at example.html, you can see that we're loading up this script into the HTML file, which is the script here. Now we go to the browser, we load up the script, and boom, we kick into the debugger console. And this is under sources in Chrome. Anywho, you can see that we have a few controls over here, and the simplest one to use is this one here, which will execute the code and keep it running until you hit the next breakpoint. So as you can see, we're inside a loop. So if I click this now, look at this, I is equal to 0, and now I is equal to 1, then I is equal to 2, and then nothing, because that's as far as the loop is going to go, and we don't have any more debugger statements. So that's one way you could debug some code. Right, so another way you can debug stuff is through breakpoints. So you can have a look at this code here, and then we go to the browser, and I've set a breakpoint on this line here. So if I now reload this page, it will stop executing at that line. So here are the controls. Now I can do a step into, which will go inside my func, and then I can do a continue execution, which will stop on the next iteration through the loop. And now I don't want to go inside my func, I want to go over it. So I click this button here, and you see now I go down to the next line, and then I continue executing. And yeah, those are the basic functions, and you can play around with these. There's tons of stuff you can be doing, and have a look at all of this stuff on this panel here. There's lots of stuff to take a look at, but these are the basics of how you use the debugging tool.